Let's now talk about some views about formal semantics in today's world. There is a huge diversity within various aspects or various views about formal semantics. Portner argues that our concepts in the minds about various meanings of the words uh, are relevant to or may be relevant to formal semantics. They are not entirely irrelevant, or that the things in the world are independent of our conceptualization of them. So our concepts, they do have some connection with the reality uh, or the real world we live in, or we construct various ideas of the objects or events in the outside world. They have a relationship with our meaning making uh, process, with our meaning making abilities, and they help us to understand the meaning. And therefore, we through this connection we could identify the overall meaning. In this regard, one of the possible ways is to look into the reality through possible worlds. And that's why Portner has used the term possible worlds, one of the most popular tools for representing diversity in semantics also. And in this regard, he looks into various models or various point of views. Among them, we have model theoretic semantics, which is based on, this model is based on the view that what reality is like, which is useful for semantic purposes. The reality which helps us understand or make meanings, what it is like. Is it something which is a factual reality, or it is based on certain perceptions, or what this reality is like? Is it truth, falsity, or inadmissible? We might also think of possible worlds within a model theoretic approach, which focuses on representing propositions in order to reach a truth. This is kind of a thing which we talked during our discussion about truth conditions. So it looks about finding truth by making certain truth conditions which lead us to know the meaning and the truth value of the sentences. So we could construct possible words in order to make our truth conditions, which ultimately lead us to know the truth value. Perhaps we don't believe that the true nature of reality is relevant to doing semantics. For example, astronomy and physics tell us that sunsets are not real in the sense of the word. Yes, we know sunsets are not real. Sun never sets, actually, rather it moves from one place to another and from our location it seems that it is actually sunset. So the known sunsets may denote to a set of things which we usually call a sunset, but sunset actually in reality never occurs. More accurately, it expresses a function from possible worlds. So we describe such actions from a point of view of possible worlds in order to reach the reality. Truth conditions of sentences are defined in terms of a model of reality which is appropriate to see how language works. So this may not help us to reach ultimate reality. Rather, it works on finding various possibilities through which we can reach some agreeable fact or reality. In this regard, the distinction between intended model and intended interpretation is very important. We see that intended model is, in fact, is an accurate portrayal of reality, whereas intended interpretation links us with the pieces of language to the intended model, the way that the language is actually linked to reality, how language leads us to reality. As I said, this may be a reality which is available to us through possible worlds. Another popular view is a Davidsonian view, and we call it a Davidsonian semantics. In this semantics, we argue that we can understand the meaning without possible words. That David believes that we can construct truth conditions without the help of any possible words. Rather, we could construct truth conditions with the statements like snow is white if statement like snow is white is true if and only snow is white. So we need to construct statements like that instead of truth conditions based on possible words. And this is not an atomic view, rather it is an abstracting one which informs us that little parts on the basis of what they contribute to the whole, we could get their meaning with their relation to or contribution to the whole. We also have situation semantics, which is another distinction in or another category in formal semantics. This focuses us leads us to focus on situations in order to know various meanings. Many formal semanticists have used the concept of situation in their work, which is not unusual now. And the idea behind using situation is that we may not need a complete possible world, rather something less than a possible world in order to reach truth or the meaning about sentences. So we can talk about various situations in a sentence in order to find meanings. In this regard, the role of sentence becomes to classify these situations. For example, if we say someone says that smoke is coming, we can identify a situation here that something is burning somewhere from where the smoke is coming. So from the sentence I just repeat that smoke is coming, we can identify a situation, something is burning inside. So through the help of these situations, we can also identify meanings in formal semantics.